The Miami Heat have made multiple sneaky moves for this team ahead of training camp. And with all these moves being made, they have addressed multiple needs while also showing that more moves will be coming in the subsequent days for this team, as now 3 players who all cover huge needs for Miami have been brought onto the team. And we're going to break down who these guys are, how this has a big impact on the Heat, what to expect from them going forwards, and what other moves to expect from the Miami Heat going forwards as well. There's a lot to go over, guys, and we're going to waste no time jumping into it. But real quick, if you're part of that 80% that's not subscribed to Heat Digest, make sure to subscribe. We got a bunch of great videos coming out for you every single day. And now, being in the middle of September, that means that there's going to be a lot of moves coming with training camp and preseason both on the way. The Heat having to add more players to the roster that they're still going to add, and also then eventually cut some guys down off the roster. So a lot is going on with the Miami Heat right now that you do not want to miss out on. So make sure you got those post notifications on. But let's jump into it. There is a lot to go over on the Miami Heat, as they recently made 3 moves in the same day. Well, actually 4, but we did talk about one of them already a while earlier. So we're not really going to cover that one, just to let you peek behind the curtain. It's Jahmir Young. I did a video on him already, and that was a couple days back. You could go check that one out. It's a whole video on Jahmir Young, and it's a good deep dive into him. But these next 3 guys we're all going to highlight at the same time, as it was revealed by the Miami Heat themselves, who announced, your Miami Heat announced today that they have signed forwards Dain Dainja, great name, guard Trevor Keels, and guard Gabe Madsen, and also Jahmir Young, again, who we talked about. Per club policy, terms of the deals were not disclosed. Now, all 3 of these guys, whether it's Dainja, whether it's Keels, whether it's Gabe Madsen, all these guys, they did play Summer League basketball recently, but only one of them did play for the Miami Heat, and that was none other than the best name of all of them, Dain Dainja. Now, these guys are all very different in their own ways, and it is interesting to see this all happen. I mean, Dainja and Madsen do not have any NBA experience under their belt. Meanwhile, Trevor Keels was actually drafted by the New York Knicks a couple of years ago and did appear in 3 games for the Knicks before mainly spending time in the NBA G League. Since then, he's bounced around in Summer League playing for a bunch of different teams, and we're going to go over Trevor Keels as well. We're going to go over all these guys, but we are going to start with the one who was with the Heat for the longest now, and that is Dain Dainja. Again, just excellent name. His name's Dainja. That's awesome. But when we look at Dainja's numbers, he really shined in his final year in college basketball. Now, he was always a consistent, solid player, especially when it came to field goal percentage, but Dainja put up 14.6 points per game, 7.4 rebounds, and 1.7 assists back in college. Now, he bounced around schools a little bit, but he played for Baylor, played for Illinois, played for Memphis. Most recently played for Memphis. That was where he suited up last, and eventually found his way into the NBA Summer League, where now he finds his way onto a contract with the Heat. Now, again, terms of the deals have not been disclosed yet, but it is something to think about, because when we look at Dainja and his numbers and everything surrounding him, we do see a very, very intriguing player, because in Summer League, he appeared in 5 games, 3 in the 2K26 Summer League and 2 in the California Classic, all with Miami. And in that span, he put up around an average, or not around, an average of 9.2 points, 2.6 rebounds, shooting 61% from the field, showing that incredible field goal percentage is still there. The thing is, he's not a three-point shooter, and at 6'9", that definitely causes some concern. Now, we know the Heat have held interest in guys like Precious Achiuwa and believe that you can be undersized and still perform. We've seen that with multiple Heat players before, so it's not something too surprising to see the Heat going back to that. Now, Dainja is someone who does have a big role with the Heat in theory because of the fact that they have very little big man depth. Dainja can play that 5 spot, though he's more of a 4, but since he can't really shoot, you'd have to put him next to Kel'el Ware a lot. But the two of them would have a nice little impact together, and it would be interesting to see as a young tandem. We'll see Dainja probably find his way onto some sort of Heat games at some point. I am pretty confident the Heat really do plan on using him a good amount, but we also have more guys to talk about as well. When we look at Trevor Keels, it's been a while since he played college basketball. It was back all the way in 2022 in that college basketball season. He appeared for 1 season with the Duke Blue Devils and really was underwhelming. Keels came in as one of the more hyped up Duke prospects in a while, but things didn't fully work out for him. Now, Trevor Keels, he was drafted 42nd overall by the New York Knicks. In his 1 year in college, he put up 11.5 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and 2.7 assists. He shot 42% from the field and 31% from 3 with a PER of 16.5. He was still good enough in college to definitely get drafted based off the hype that was there prior, but Keels never really panned out into what was expected of him. And It was for a few reasons. One of it was for a guard, he didn't really have excellent ball handling, and he was pretty big and bulky, so he wasn't the most athletic guy either. And the Knicks, they kept him around for a bit, but they decided they didn't really like Keels, ended up waiving him after only one season within the organization, and now he kind of bounced around since then. Now, Keels is an interesting piece. I actually remember when Keels was drafted because it was the one time I ever followed the draft on my phone. Usually I'm watching the NBA draft in some aspect, but I was bartending all night. So I remember seeing like all the picks, and I remember seeing Trevor Keels be drafted 42nd overall by the Knicks, and I was like, damn, that guy was supposed to be like a first round talent, and he just wasn't even at all. Like, he was supposed to be the top half of the first round back in the day, the year prior, but it didn't work out as it does sometimes. But maybe with the Miami Heat, a place where they know how to develop you, you can always trust that there is a chance. Now, Keels, he played in the Summer League a good amount now. Now, he played one Summer League with the Knicks where he was absolutely atrocious, putting up a little under 6 points per game, getting 4.6 rebounds and 2.6 assists with 1.6 steals. He showed some solid defense, but again, he was a little slow and he couldn't hit a shot. He shot 25.6% from the field and 20% from three. Not really good enough to do anything there. Then he appeared in 5 games with the Knicks the following Summer League as well before ultimately getting waived, and he looked a lot better. He put up 11 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists in that span, getting a steal, still showing solid defense. The turnovers went down, the field goal percentage went up. He shot 41.5% from the field and 33% from 3. Ultimately, the Knicks ended up cutting him anyway, and now we fast forward to the following year where he was with Houston. And with Houston, he appeared in 4 games for the Summer League, only played around 10.3 minutes per game, put up 6.2 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist, shot 64% from the field and 78% from 3. So the numbers were good, albeit limited. But Trevor Keels did still put up some solid numbers. Didn't really get him anywhere as he didn't find himself back in the NBA, and found himself with the Detroit Pistons Summer League this year where he didn't get a contract after putting up in 13 minutes of action 6.5 points, 1.2 rebounds, and 0.5 assists, shooting 43% from the field and 28% from 3. We just did not see what we expected at all out of Trevor Keels as a player from what we expected when he first committed to Duke. But now the Heat are going to take a chance on Keels going forwards. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Keels is not making this roster. We all know Keels is not making this roster. Nobody thinks he is, but he is an interesting player. And then we look at Gabe Madsen, who last year in college, at Utah that is, he put up 15.2 points per game, 2.6 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. His shooting numbers were not good. The Heat do believe they clearly see something here with Gabe Madsen. I don't really see it, but it's not my job to see it. It's the Heat's job to see it. And we know how the Heat are with this stuff. They're very good at pinpointing players. And when we look at what he did in Summer League with the Golden State Warriors, the man was all right. I mean, he put up 9.2 points per game, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and he did shoot 52% from 3, which was the real headliner here. He shot really well from the field and from 3, and that definitely did play a part in him getting this role with the Heat. Madsen will compete for a roster spot with the rest of these guys as well, and I think has a better chance than Trevor Keels, but a worse one than Dain Dainja. Now, Ira Winderman did talk about this as well, saying that the same way players such as Duncan Robinson, Max Strus, and Gabe Vincent, and even Caleb Martin made the Heat better, for as much as the Heat are in a spot where some instant gratification would be welcomed, the developmental process nonetheless has to remain ongoing. It is more likely than none of these 4 guys signed, that none of these 4 guys signed on Thursday will be on the opening roster, but it also is highly likely that Jameer Young, Gabe Madsen, and Trevor Keels, along with Dain Dainja, all will be on the Heat's G League roster, and that's a start. Because you have to start somewhere with your developmental pipeline. No, not A-list players, but potentially the type of players you will need. You'll need to augment an A-list player, you should say. Not argument. I can't read apparently. Should he arrive? Thursday was about the long view. A view that still matters in the NBA. And we know how the Heat treat their G League team like an actual minor league team. They do it well. It's development purposes, and they usually can bring them up, and we see a lot of good out of them. What do you guys think of these signings? Who are you most excited about? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. I'll catch you later.